You reach across the kitchen table for his hand. You ask if he's okay. You tell him you want to know what he's feeling. And in the smallest part of a second, you see something pass across his face. Not anger, not sadness. Something flatter than that. Something blank. His shoulders go a little stiff. His eyes drop. And the man who was right there with you a moment ago is suddenly somewhere else. You've seen this before. You've seen it after the best nights. You've seen it after you told him you loved him. You've seen it the morning after he opened up about something hard, like he regretted letting you in. If you've ever been with someone who does this, you already know how lonely it feels. Like the closer you get, the further away he goes. Like loving him is a door that keeps closing in your face. You probably wondered if it's you, if you're too much, if you're asking for too much, if the right person would never make you feel this way. I want to tell you something. Gently, it isn't you. It was never you. What's happening inside him has a name. Psychologists have been studying it for over 50 years. And once you understand it, you'll see that the freezing in him has almost nothing to do with anything you've ever said or done. It started long before he ever met you. Let me tell you about a small boy. Imagine him. He's maybe 1 year old. He's sitting on the floor of a living room. His mother walks out the door to grab something from the next room. Most children in that moment would cry. They would reach for the door. They would call out. They would be inconsolable until she came back. But this boy does none of that. He keeps playing with his toys. His face shows nothing. When his mother comes back a few minutes later and kneels down to pick him up, he doesn't run to her. He doesn't even look up. To anyone watching, he seems perfectly fine, independent, easy, self-sufficient. And then the researchers measured his heart rate. It was racing faster than any of the other children's. His body was screaming. His face just didn't know how to show it anymore. This experiment is called the Strange Situation. It was developed in 1978 by a psychologist named Mary Ainsworth, building on the foundational work of John Bowlby, who 9 years earlier had proposed something that changed the field of psychology forever. He said the way a child learns to bond with a caregiver in the first 2 years of life becomes the blueprint for every important relationship that child will ever have. Ainsworth found that around 23% of children behaved exactly like the little boy I just described. Calm on the outside, in crisis on the inside. She called this pattern avoidant attachment. The child who had learned very early that needing someone visibly was not safe. So he stopped showing the need. But the need didn't go away, it just went underground. For decades, researchers wondered what happened to these children when they grew up. Did the pattern stop in childhood, or did it follow them into adulthood, into their relationships, into the lives they would build with other people? In 1987, two psychologists named Cindy Hazan and Philip Shaver answered that question. They created a simple love quiz and ran it in the personal section of a Denver newspaper. Thousands of adults answered it, and what came back showed something unmistakable. The same 3 attachment patterns Ainsworth had seen in toddlers were still alive in their adult romantic relationships, the secure ones, the anxious ones, and the avoidant ones, who described their partners as wanting too much, getting too close, expecting too much intimacy. That small boy in the Strange Situation didn't outgrow his strategy. He grew up, fell in love, and brought the same nervous system with him into his adult relationships. The same heart that raced as a toddler still races now. The same calm face still hides it. But here is what almost nobody understands about him. He is not someone who doesn't need closeness. He is someone who needs it desperately and learned to hide that need so well that he forgot he had it. So how does a small child end up like this? The research is consistent. It's almost never dramatic. It's not abuse. The parents are usually loving people, doing their best with what they had. But something specific happens in those first 2 years. The child reaches for comfort, and the parent, for whatever reason, gets uncomfortable. They get awkward. They tell him to stop crying. They distract him. They change the subject. They subtly withdraw when he gets too needy, too clingy, too much. The child notices. Children always notice. And the child who is wired by biology to stay close to a caregiver at all costs makes a quiet calculation. If I need too much, I lose them, so I will need less. So I will become small. So I will become the kind of boy who never asks, who never reaches, who never falls apart in front of anyone. A neuroscientist named Alan Shore has spent his career studying what happens in the brain during this exact window. And what he found is that the part of the brain responsible for emotional intimacy is shaped almost entirely by these tiny back and forth moments between parent and child. When those moments go wrong in this specific way, the brain literally wires itself for self-reliance. It learns to soothe itself by going inward, by going numb, by going alone. The capacity to be comforted by another person never fully develops. That is why he feels uncomfortable when you try to take care of him. His nervous system doesn't recognize being cared for as safe. It recognizes it as dangerous because the last time he reached for that, he got hurt. So he pulls away, and there are specific ways he pulls away every single time. Two researchers, Mario Mikulincer and Philip Shaver, spent decades cataloging exactly how avoidants pull away. They called these moves deactivating strategies. Not big dramatic exits, small, almost invisible mental moves that turn the volume down on the part of him that needs you. You've watched all of them happen even if you never had names for them. He focuses on your flaws. The moment things start to feel close, he finds something small to be annoyed about. The way you chew, the way you talk to your friends, the thing you said 3 weeks ago that he can't seem to let go of. None of these are about you. They are how he creates enough distance to breathe. He buries himself in work. Suddenly there's a project, a deadline, a thing he absolutely has to finish, and he disappears into it for 3 days. He'll come back warmer, you'll feel relieved, and the cycle will start over the next time you get close. He picks a fight over something tiny, over nothing, because conflict is a kind of distance that doesn't require him to admit he needed distance. He needs space, just for the evening, just for the weekend, just for a few days to think. And when he comes back, he can't quite explain what he was thinking about. He responds to texts hours later than he could have, not because he was busy, because being too available too soon makes him feel something he doesn't want to feel. He intellectualizes everything you bring up. You tell him you're hurt. He responds with a thoughtful analysis of why your hurt makes sense given the situation. And somewhere in the explanation, the feeling you were trying to share with him gets lost. He handles things alone that most people would ask for help with. He gets sick. He doesn't tell you. He has a hard day at work. You hear about it 3 weeks later, in passing, like it was nothing. You ask him why he didn't say anything, he looks confused, because to him, this is not something you bring to another person. And one more, which is the hardest to see. In 1985, a researcher named Mary Main at Berkeley discovered that when she asked avoidant adults about their childhood, they would say things like, "It was fine. I don't really remember much. My parents did their best." But when she measured what was happening in their bodies as they spoke, the truth told a different story. Their hearts raced. Their voices had tiny tremors. The pain was still there. Their entire emotional system had just been trained to look away from it. He has done the same thing to his own life that he does to you. He has put a wall between himself and the parts of himself that hurt. And the wall is so old, he doesn't even remember building it. So here's the part that should change how you see him forever. He is not running from you. He is running from a 5-year-old version of himself who got hurt the last time he reached for someone. You're not even in the room when it happens. He's somewhere else entirely, somewhere 30 years away, somewhere small. What does this mean for you? It means his pulling away is not a verdict on your worth. It is not a sign you weren't enough. It is not a message about whether he loves you. It is the oldest reflex in his body, firing in a moment that has nothing to do with you. It also means you cannot fix him. You were never supposed to. The only person who can do that work is him, slowly, with a person who doesn't take the pulling away personally, with a therapist who understands what's actually happening, with 1,000 small moments of staying when he would normally leave. What you can do is stop translating his distance into a story about yourself. Stop hearing, "I am pulling away," as "you are not enough." Those are not the same sentence. They have never been the same sentence. You are not too much. You are never too much. You are the safe person he wasn't ready to believe in yet. And whatever happens next between the two of you, you deserve to know that the freezing in him is not a failure in you. It's just a small boy, somewhere inside him, who never learned how to let someone stay.